Alright, so for now, since this one was supposed to work, but I guess I just took the wrong one, the wrong flag in here. We will check this out in a sec. What's new was supposed to be very simple. Oh, this is why. Went to case number 22. Well, the case we had was 2. Oh, my bad. So let's check what's wrong with case number 3. Worked just fine, even though both of them have the same same K. Look, they have the same definition. So I say let's just remove this and keep it as only 3. Let's update this one that's using case number 4 as case number 3. Now both of them will do the same thing, but we saved a bit of space. Now let's check what faction, no, what a flag the creature needs to be able to be a vendor, because I really don't remember. TrinityCore, TrinityCore creature template. Vendor could be 128. Yep, exactly. So it needs to be 129. What was number 2? Quest giver. So 128. It's supposed to be 129 because 128 plus 1 is 129. So let's go into this and adjust the NPC flag. 129. Let's do it like that. Now we will need to restart the server. Oh wait, let's apply the changes first. Let's make sure this one works just fine, and then we will restart the server and test everything in game. Alright, getting in game. Hello, I'm interested in your wares. Yep, it's in. Now let's add something into this vendor, like NPC add item. Let's link this one, just like this. So if I go into I'm interested in your wares, I will be able to buy this for an insane amount of money that I don't have, nor enough space, but still. And I will be able to sell it for 1 copper, which makes no sense to buy it. But yeah, let's test the rest. What's new? That shut us down. Alright, let's make sure why this doesn't work, because it's supposed to bring us a brand new gossip menu. So let's do that right now. Alright, so what it does right now is as long as we have this case open, it will do 2 things. First of all, it will add the gossip menu into the memory, but it will not launch it. Send gossip menu. It will not send us the menu. What it will do instead is close the gossip menu. So we will need to copy this and replace it with the closed gossip menu. So let's do just that, compile, and we will test this out again in game. Alright, let's test this out. Hello, I'm interested in your wares. That has been saved even after a server restart. What's new? Nothing much, just the usual. And when we press it, it gives us a clean gossip. And when we press on it, it goes into gossip number 3, which is good. Now what we want to do is we actually want to add, like, let's do 2 major cities. Let's go with Orgrimmar and Stormwind. So let's go teleport Orgrimmar. I don't want it to be here. I want it to be, let's do GM on so we don't get attacked. Oh my god. Alright, let's do some speed. I want it to be just about here. Just about here. Jesus. Let's do .gps. This one will give us the coordinates that we need. The one thing that we need from here, this one single line up here, is the map ID. Map ID will be 1. Gonna add a column, and then I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, and O. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the first 4, could be even 3, could be even 1 number, and then the decimal point and 2 numbers after the decimal point. As soon as we're done, we're gonna do F. F stands for finish. The reason we do that is because as soon as we finish the decimal point, the core will know skip to the next variable. Let's do 1388.27f. Another one. Let's do comma here, and we go on to the next one. Notice that this one is a negative number, so we're gonna do 4369.36f. Do comma again, 27.11, comma, 0.09 f. In here we don't need a comma. This is all we need. Let's go copy this, and let's go into the core and give it some proper usage. Alright, so what we need for now is we're going to need to note this down, or grimoire is just that. Now let's make sure that we have this gossip menu in the game. Gonna need to remove this because we don't need this anymore. Let's do teleport to or grimoire. And let's do case number 1. Gonna keep it. Let's note this down so we don't actually delete it 100% in case we will need it in the future and we don't remember exactly how to get it. This is what developers often do. They note the code that they don't need, and then they remove it once they successfully manage to implement exactly what they wanted. But this one can be used in the future in case you need a reference or a reminder. Notes often help us know what we need to do. So there are 2 methods to write notes. One of them is this /, and the other one is this, exactly like that. This is for mid-sentence type of note because you cannot do a note like this. If I don't want to note the player, if I don't want to use the player, I will need to do this, and I cannot really remove it. The entire sentence is now dead. So we will need to do something a bit different. The method to do that is by doing exactly that. Close it, open it there, close it in here, and we can continue on with our lives. But in this case, obviously, we don't need that. This is just an example. So this is the teleportation coordinates that we need. Let's go in here and do player. We get the player from here because we actually noted the player. The onGossipSelect function has a link to the player class. So we go in here and we do player, do the arrow key, and let's do something. Let's search for teleport. All right, it gives us a few examples. The default one that it refers to is teleport to. Let's open the brackets and see what variables it needs. Notice how it has 1 out of 2 in here. When I press down, it gives me another method to insert variables. So what we need in here is the map ID, float X, float Y, float Z, orientation, and this one doesn't matter because it has an autofill. It says equals 0. So we don't really need that because it's being filled automatically. In case we want to change that, obviously we can, but I've never encountered a situation where this one was important. So let's do the map ID, float X, Y, Z, and orientation. We're just gonna paste what we have. In case we don't have F at the end, or in case we don't have a comma, or in case, I don't know, anything, it will not work. It will give us an error. This one will not give us an error. It will give us a warning, and I will show you exactly what does it mean. It will function, but it will not function well. From double to float. We don't need it to be float. We need it to be double. I mean, it doesn't really matter. These are very minor numbers, but you know, just to get rid of the potential error. So this is a city for Horde players. We want to do a distinction where only Horde players can see teleport to Orgrimmar. I'm gonna define it in here in the gossip menu, because we don't want players who are Alliance to be able to teleport to Orgrimmar so easily. We want to have like a condition. A condition is in C++ if statement. If the player, we're gonna get the player's faction. Faction, like you can probably realize in C++ and in core development is could refer to this faction in here. So this is not 100% what we need. People make that mistake. We don't need faction. This is called get team. Get team ID. So if the team is, let's actually look at what we have in here. Team equals Alliance or Horde. So we will need to select if team Horde. Let's copy this. Let's press escape. If get team equals double equal team Horde, and then this is the condition. I press here and I press tab. This is to know that this line below the if is the condition. What we can do after if is do else, and this is what happens in case the team ID is not Horde. So what we will do is we will do this, gonna copy it, gonna paste it, and we will do Stormwind. Now, both of them lead to the same case. They both lead to case number 1. Case number 1 is, in our case, Orgrimmar. What we need is we need to define Stormwind. So there are two things we can do. We can either do this, and then the else will be exactly the same but with different coordinates. Or we could do that this one will lead us to case number, in our case 4, because 4 is available. Case 4 will be teleport to Stormwind. As soon as we're done with the case, we're gonna do break, and then it will know when to stop, when to go to the next case. So I prefer to choose the minimal one. This is the method I prefer personally, but obviously you can do your own thing if you want. So we're gonna go in game, get the coordinates for Stormwind, and then we will update and test this out in game. All right, let's go in here. I want it to be here, this one specifically. .gps. Case numbers, no, map ID 0. This is the first line. The second line starts with the negative, so minus 8959.0. 516.29f 96.35f 0.68f. Gonna go in here. Gonna do this. This one is Alliance. Stormwind. Gonna replace this with Stormwind. Now, gonna save all. Gonna close it. And gonna do build solution. Now we're gonna test this out in game. Alright, we don't have the teleporter here. We can spawn it, but I'd much rather have it in Gurubashi. Let's go to the teleporter. This one is an Alliance, so we should be able to see teleport to Stormwind. And it doesn't want to work. We will check this out right now. Yeah, I made a mistake. I kept it as 4 instead of 1. Gonna fix that and recompile and save and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a fun process, I gotta admit. That's a fun process to waste all this time, but it is what it is. From my quick checkup, this will work just fine right now. But yeah, we saw that this one works fine because we could not see Orgrimmar, we could see only Stormwind, and we could see the rest. We didn't test if it functions still, even though nothing in here has changed. But still, we're gonna test everything out to make sure that it works properly. So we are back. It hasn't really saved anything. That's because I did not do save all. Let's do Tele Gurubashi. Oh my god. Guru. Yeah, it works. Let's go to the teleporter now. And I believe it will work just fine. This is an alliance. Yep, worked just fine. Now we're gonna go into a horde player. No. Yeah, I don't care about that. Yep, teleport to Orgrimmar, and it works just fine. Now, we could do the rest for other major cities, or we could do it for basically any other location that we want. For example, let's go into GM Island. Oh, come on. Alright, let's do GM Island, and let's have it so only GMs can access this island. Let's go ahead and save this. GPS. First line, case map number 1, and then we go to the bottom, X, Y, Z, O. So 1.16.223.19 F and a comma 16.252.00 F 12.59 F 1.56 F. Gonna go in here, copy it. Let's go, and let's add a new gossip menu. Actually, let's go ahead. I press here at the end of this menu. Could be any menu, to be honest, and I do Control D to duplicate. Now we're gonna do GM Island, for example. And this one will be case number 4. Now case number 4 will do case 4, GM Island, break. And like the previous one, player, teleport, with this, open the brackets. We don't have word location. We have to scroll down, see the variables. We have them. I'm gonna do Control V to paste. And this one will work just fine. Now, obviously, I don't want players to be able to access this without actually being a GM. So we're going to do a condition for this one specifically as well. So if a player, let's do something with GM related. GM is Game Master. So all we can see that we can do is Game Master. Let's do the brackets, because this is what it says. It's supposed to have the brackets here. And let's go ahead and do tab here, so we will know this is the condition. Let's test this out, actually. If we don't do tab, let's remove all of these, because obviously we wrote the code. We know what it means. But let's do new brackets. It will fix it for us, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So if this guy's a game master, this will mean if he has GM tag on, which occurs when you do the command .gm on. But we also don't want it to be only if you have GM on, because you could be playing as a player or as a tester, and you don't need GM on to access the GM island. What you need is a rank. So let's do another if. For example, notice that when I press enter, it goes directly down into this, where this sentence below is beginning, which is it's very useful. We just define this in advance and it will do just fine. So let's do another if player get session. Session, because as soon as we log in game, we get a session ID. This will give us all the information about the player's persistence in this instance of the server. So let's do here like that. If this guy has a valid session, and from the session we can get all the rest of the information, and you can see that's a vast amount of information. For example, we want get security level. Security level is because as soon as we get into the game, we are being defined with what rank we have. This rank within the core is defined as security level. Account access, we can see that it even says get security level. My account ID is 1 and my security level is 3. The ones that we have is 1, 2, and 3, and I will show exactly where you can get that type of information. We go into common.h within the compiler, give it a sec to load, and we will go into common.h. Seems to be this one. We don't want it to be an MPQ file. This is a lowercase common.h. I noticed it that we need logging. So let's go in here and do account type. Security level player, moderator, game master, administrator, and this is the console. The console is this application is the console. No one can ever be a console. Only the console can be a console. No one else is supposed to be that, unless you don't want to outpower anyone as a server owner. Even you should not be you should not set yourself as GM level 4. But let's assume I want to set myself up as GM level 4, because right now I'm GM level 3. So let's do count set GM level. We can also do account set sec level, sec as in security level. Let's do, because right now I'm GM level 3, let's do 4. Let's do 4 and realm ID number 1. I know realm ID because account set security level account name, then space, the level, and the realm ID. Realm ID, I want it to be 1. That I get from the config, which is right there. Going to show you that as well. Going to edit with Notepad++ and go into realm ID. We can also check it out through the database, which is in here, realm list. Go into data, and ID number 1 says so right there. So I want to set myself as a console. I want to do 4, realm ID 1. Oh, wait. Incorrect values. But if I want to do number 3, it has changed it. If I want to do 2, changed it. If I want to do 1, changed it. If I want to do 0, changed it. If I want to do 4 again, incorrect values. No one can ever be console unless, obviously, you know the trick. I don't recommend doing that, but still, it's possible. Instead of giving yourself account 3, you can just do 4, and you're good to go. But still, it's not recommended. You should always have the power to outrank anyone as a console. Console should not be limited in any way. The console should be able to do everything the game can provide, and therefore should be the highest authority within the server. So we get the security level, and we want to compare it. This is what we currently have, right? What we want is, as soon as the person is not a player as in not security level 0, that is very simple to do. As long as the player is not exclamation mark equal to sec player. Just like that. Sec player. As long as the rank does not equal to security level of a player, it will give us the GM island. But if our server is custom and we have VIPs and we've modified this to have head admin and supervisor, GM lead, and whatever, these ranks are invalid. All right, this owner can be rank 8, console will be rank 9, and this will basically give everyone, including VIPs potentially, or GMs that we don't fully trust, access to the GM island itself. We don't want that. We want to define which rank specifically can access the server. So what we can do is, if this is equal, double equal, sec moderator, or this one stands for or, we can copy this again. If it's equal to security level game master, or if the security level is equal to administrator. So one of these three, and we will be able to see GM Island. If we want to do all of them together, which is physically impossible, and this will be an invisible option, we would do and, just like that, and. Now, what this statement does, this condition, as long as the player is a moderator and a game master and an administrator, he can visit GM Island. Well, that's not really possible. We want to do or and not and. So I'm just going to go back. Now, what about this game master thing? We want to remove this condition. Gonna remove this entirely. And we're gonna do or and the following. So as long as you're either a game master and you have GM tag on, this way you can be a player as well. Player with a special permission. For example, if I want my account, let's assume I'm not a GM. Let's remove this actually. I am not a GM right now, but I still want to have the GM on command. I'm gonna do filter, gonna do GM. I'm gonna use the command ID 371, gonna copy it. This one can do GM on or off. And I wanna go into account permission. I'm gonna do account ID 1, which is Serverlands. It has this autocomplete. I can, wait, let's extend this a little bit. You can see that it says here Serverlands. The permission ID that I want is 371. Granted, 1 is the default. I can do 0 if I want to revoke, if I don't want it to be active. And the realm ID I want it to be at is number 1. -1, as in -1, is for all realms in case we have multiple realms. So for now, I'm gonna keep it as default, which is exactly that. So now I, as a player, have access to GM on command in game without being a GM, and I will, as long as I have GM on flag to be honest, I will be able to see GM Island, which is an amazing enhancement of this entire condition. Now we're going to check this out in game. I'm going to go ahead and build a solution, and we will check this out in game right now.